Welcome to She Who Leads in Love, a podcast for women ready to live freely and do what they love. I'm your host, Ginny Gain. Together, we get to explore what it means to choose your truth over your conditioning, trust the energy of love over fear, and confidently step into the fullest expression of who you really are. It's time for your most extraordinary life experience. Let's create. Welcome, Drea, to She Who Leads in Love. I'm so excited to have you here, and it worked out perfect timing getting to see you a few weeks ago and reconnect and hear about all the amazing things happening in your life right now.
Yes.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I would love to start with just sharing a little bit about, now I know most people are normally going to say, tell me about yourself, but I'm going to ask,
yes,
tell us what you love. Tell us the things in your life.
Oh, Jenny, you're starting deep already.
Always. You know
my gosh. Okay. The things that I love going for walks. I do that every day, and I love kayaking. I love the water, which I think you and I have in common.
Yes, I love the water.
I love the water. I love my cats. You'll probably see them walking around somewhere. Oh, they're so crazy, but they keep me laughing. I love performing. I love singing. I'm finding so much more joy in being back on stage, which is amazing. So I love that. I love finding out my purpose and where I'm supposed to be right now, and that's been really interesting, really paying attention to what's calling to me.
Yes.
And figuring out okay, if it's calling to me, I should probably just step on into it. So I love that. I love little things, Jenny. I love just rainbows. If I see a rainbow, I lose my mind. I have to chase it. I have to chase it. It's
have you
so
ever got
fun.
One?
A rainbow? Yes. Usually what's funny is I usually see them in the Walmart parking lot. Crazy. And so then I have to sit there and take a million pictures of the same rainbow. So I love rainbows. I'm just that quirky, rainbows when I write in the car. The sun will catch my ring, and I get rainbows on the paper, and that's one of my favorite things as well. Yeah. Wait, what about you? I gotta know. What about you?
There's so many things I love too. The moment that's bringing me joy that's coming to mind is I was on my walk this morning, and there is I walk by this bush of tree. Must be some sort of flower, and it a nighttime blooming jasmine maybe, and it just smells so good. And for I don't know how many meters, I just breathe in this gorgeous smell, and that is something I love every morning on my walks. I love my walks too. I love rainbows. I love connecting with you and with all of our people, and I love love. Oh my gosh, we're going to go on a little love ramp.
A love ramp.
I love road trips. I love adventures.
Yeah.
I also love my cats.
Yeah. Aren't they the best? I just love animals in general.
Yeah.
But these two little knuckleheads of mine, they are the loves of my life right now. I can't even.
When you think of your dream, the thing your soul is calling you to, what is it?
Oh man. Ooh, Jenny, that's a good one. I'm trying to think of exactly how to answer that.
Okay.
I'm going to use something that I heard another person say, and it resonated so deeply in me. I'm going to say impact and income, but through music and love.
Oh, got goosebumps, Drea.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How does that feel to just say out loud? Even just saying that is so powerful.
It is. I've never said it out loud. That's the first time I've said it out loud.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting.
It feels honest. It feels good. It feels like, yeah, that's that's me, and that's where I feel my most truthful self, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When do you think you first kind of had this feeling or like this quiet pull to this path, like to the music and to the expression and impact?
That's a good question. Probably as a teenager. I'm not even going
Hmm.
to say probably. I'm going to say as a teenager. Um, it was probably around 13
Hmm.
that I sang the first time, and there was a woman in the back. I was at a church, and I saw this woman. It was a very small church, and I knew most of the people in there because it was related to the school that I went to. And I had never seen this woman before. And I was singing, I'll never forget it. I was a cappella singing Amazing Grace. And she slipped into the back and she just sat on the very back pew and she was sobbing as I was crying. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. Now as a 13, 14-year old, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is intriguing. Come to find out later that she wanted to end her life.
Oh
And what she told the people at the church was she basically had said, she said a prayer and said, if I'm not supposed to do this, lead me to someone singing Amazing Grace.
my gosh, Drea, I'm getting like the whole body goosebumps.
Right. Like, and then they came and told me because when I was done singing, she had gone out into the foyer and she was just like sobbing. And I went out in the foyer basically to hang out with my friends. And
Mhm.
I saw her and they ended up telling me later what it transpired. And she was like, I don't even know how I got here. But I walked in and I heard her singing Amazing Grace. And that was probably the first time I was like, whoa. Like that's incredible. But it's always been things like that that have really connecting with people through my music has always given me such joy and love and purpose, when
That's
I think,
almost
yeah, go
like
ahead.
that experience. I mean, you are such a vessel of the message
Yeah,
through your joy
yeah.
of singing.
Through my just loving singing. Yeah.
What made, if you remember, why did you pick that song at that time? Or was it,
I don't remember. Like
yeah, it was just, yeah.
yeah, it was just like I liked singing hymns. I still
Yeah.
do. And I didn't have anybody playing for me then. So at that point in my teenage years, I would really just do a cappella hymns at different churches. And that
Mhm.
was just the one for that day. And sometimes it's interesting because to this day, I don't really have a set list. Like if I get invited to a church or something, I might have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I'm always very open to the moment and to just being led, right? So, it happened a month ago, 2 months ago, I sang at another church here where I live, and I could not decide on a song that week.
Mhm.
And I was like, what is going on? Like, nothing feels right. And when I got there, turns out one of my friends, another musical friend, her daughter was being, um, christened is not the word, but it was like confirmation. It was her
Mhm.
confirmation weekend. And I did not know that. And all of a sudden, something just hit and was like, you need to sing this song. And I sang it. And later on, the pastor came up to me and was like, that was the most incredible, perfect song ever. How did you know? And I was like, it just hit me at that moment. It just was like, do this.
Wow.
And it fit the moment perfectly. And I was just like, okay, so I think there's something to being like very open to being led, you know what I mean? And
Oh
not being
my God.
so like, it has to be this way, right? It's just like, like you said, I'm a vessel. So show me what I need and what people need when I get on that stage.
It seems like that's so natural to you in this arena. Does it feel easy to be open?
Yes and no. If I have a band, they hate the fact that I'm open. If I'm by myself, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier.
Right. That's a
Yeah.
good point when you're co-creating with others to have that to have more of a plan unless you're all so open and
Yes.
great.
Yes. And usually, like, if I have a band, what'll happen is if I feel like there's something going on, or I feel like I need to make a shift, I usually have, if I'm not playing piano, I have a keyboardist that I know can shift with me, right? So then it's like we might start and then the band will pick it up as we go. But I usually just try to tell my band, like, just be open, don't get mad at me, right? Like, we might just go somewhere and just follow me, right? And they're just like, okay.
That the beauty of leading.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and sometimes it's just really, it can be fun. You know what I mean? Like, if they pick it up and we just lock in, it can be fun. But it's really getting people that I trust that will just be like, okay, this is what she's doing. This is what she does.
Oh, yeah.
But I always say when I get on stage, the one thing I always ask God or the universe or whatever you want to call him, the higher being, is you show me or tell me what people need and let me show up for that, right? You know all of these people, so you tell me, what are people needing today? Because I don't know them, but you do. Yeah. So how can I best show up and spread love and joy?
So you've been doing this since you were 13.
Yes.
What did you, in that moment, when you think about that experience when you were 13, what did you know about your purpose or your path?
I think I knew there was a guttural response in me of, this feels right.
Yeah.
You know, there's, to be able to see an impact at that young of an age by just singing, right? And again, at 13, you only know so much about those type of situations, but to see that kind of response to what I was doing, it was just an instant, like, whoa, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. I think this is it right here, you know? And then to see it happen over and over and over again was just continual confirmation, right? Like, it wasn't just that one time. It has been my entire life that when I sing, for some reason, I attract people who tend to want to take their life. And I end up finding out.
Interesting. You know, and I would say too, every one of those situations, that the fact that you're coming into that information after, that is a huge part of this evidence as well, for you knowing, like, okay, you're being shown almost like the impact of you being in your truth.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. Yeah.
So what has the journey been of feeling this pull so young and then learning to trust it? Did you always trust it? You always knew it was there. You didn't always trust it yet.
Yeah, it's always been there. My first solo was when I was 8. And that one wasn't really like, oh, somebody, you know, it was just like this little kid thing we were doing at church, and I had like a 5-second solo, right?
Yeah.
But that response from the church was like, wow, like I remember people coming up to my mom and going, she can really sing. Like, wait. She can really sing, you know? So the journey of it has been interesting. No, I didn't always trust it, and I struggled with nerves a lot. So I actually quit singing and quit performing in my early 20s for many, many years. I couldn't get over the stage fright, and it kept getting worse and worse and worse, and I just could not figure out how to make it better. And it just got to the point that I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So I stopped. And I went and got a full-time job for several years, and it was the most miserable time of my life. The most miserable time of my life. And I would say it was so crazy because I ended up dating a guy who was a singer-songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, like on my way back from work, I would just have to pull over on the side of the road and I would just cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just be like, this is not my life. Like, what do I do? This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And even though it didn't work out with him and he would always say to me, all you have to do is just take the step and trust. Like, you can sing. There's nothing to that. Nobody can knock you for that, but you just have to take the step. And I ended up getting back into singing because he was at some point, like we were both in church and he said, hey, my church is having a revival. Will you come with me? I didn't want to go. And I went just because I was like, okay, fine. And while I was there, the guy who was speaking said, I was going to do something different tonight, but I felt like somebody was coming who's running from their calling.
Oh my gosh, Drea.
And I was like, what? And I just sat there like, what is going on? And he said, so I literally feel like I'm just going to bring people up that I know who were running from their calling and finally said yes and let them all tell their story so that whoever that person or these people are that are coming, he's like, I don't know who you are, but I feel like you need to know that it's okay for you to say yes.
Holy crap. You have been so guided. This is so incredible. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, so that was like your getting back into it and then keep going.
That was my getting back into it moment. And what was real crazy was that night a girl came up to me. Now, I don't go to this church anymore or anything like that, but I'll never forget a girl came up to me and of course I was in tears. Like I was just like, okay, this is quite the moment, right? And as I'm crying, this girl comes up to me. She just prays over me and I don't know who she is. By the time I open my eyes, she's gone, right? I don't know who she is. Later, as we're leaving, she came up to me and she said, hey, I just wanted to say hi. I was that girl that prayed for you. Turns out she's a huge Christian singer who is very world renowned and famous. And I was like, I didn't know then until my boyfriend told me later, like, do you know who that was? And I was like, no, I don't. And from there, like that very much felt like a kismet thing as well. Like a kismet, like, why would this one chick come up to me? You know what I mean? And she was very like, I feel like you're supposed to sing. And what she said to me was like, you just need to take the jump. You know you're supposed to be singing. And you know the world is waiting for your voice. So take the leap. And I was like, okay. All right. So
was that enough? Was that enough for you to say?
It was enough for me to say, okay, I'll try it again. I'll try it again. But I just had my hands open this time of like, I don't even know what this was supposed to look like. So I ended up going back to school and studying jazz. That's where my love for jazz came in.
Oh my goodness. I love this. I love the part where you said, okay, I'm willing to say yes without an idea of what it's supposed to look like. Because I feel like we can be so wisely led when we're in that place.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like a hands open approach versus it has to be this way. Like it has to be what I demand it to be, And so it was a little bit more gentle going back into it. I just said, I don't know, but something told me, see if this one college has a jazz program. Turns out when I applied, that was the first year that they were starting their vocal jazz.
Of course.
Yeah. And so I went in. I did an audition for 5 people, and it turns out I was sick as a dog that day. I had a fever, like it was so bad. But one of my friends was with me, and she was like, the good thing about jazz is that the hoarser you are, the more sick and smoky you sound. So
you're good.
And yeah, it turned out like one of the guys looked at me, and he said, one of the guys listening to me, he said, did you grow up on Luther Vandross? And I said, yeah. He's like, you're really interesting. It's like Luther Vandross, Billie Holiday, and like Diana Ross all had a baby.
And you're like, thank you.
Like, oh, those are all the people I grew up listening to. So, okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and that's where like I got thrown back into singing and playing and performing there. We had to be part of like jam sessions and parts of groups that went out and performed, and it taught me to work through my nerves a little bit more. And there was a lady, I'll throw her name out here. Her name is Drea Tucker, and she's an incredible jazz artist. But she was kind of just getting started at that time.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was teaching my piano lesson at that point, and he said, "Hey, I think you should go watch her. I think you're going to like what you see." And I can't tell you how much that was a leaden moment, because I would watch her sing to nobody. There were days that she would sing at restaurants. Nobody would be there, but she would show up and do the same gig that she would do if it was 1,000 people in the room, right? So I got
fully practicing to be, yes.
And now she's singing all over the world. She's on radio now. She lives in California. Like, she's living her best life. She has like 8 albums out. Like, it's just absolute madness to see that growth. But it taught me so much, right? It was like I put out there what I needed and it came back to me, right? Like, I was like, I don't know how to count in songs. I don't know how to, you know what I mean? All of these things. And then it was like, okay, we'll go watch her and we'll go watch her do it. And I would say, and sometimes she would pull me up on stage and be like, get up here and sing. And I'd be like, oh, okay. So it's, you know what I mean? It's like the divineness of the rolling of how that journey just unfolds of just like, okay, I'm going to say yes. And I think there is something to taking one step, right? And watching the next step unfold, right? And it's kind of like, I always say the Indiana Jones movie where he's trying to save his dad. And is that the Temple of Doom? I don't remember which one it is, but he has to cross this huge ravine. And he knows if he takes a step, he could fall to his death. But the moment he steps, there's a bridge, one piece of a bridge that catches him.
Yeah.
Not the whole bridge, just one piece. And he opens his eyes and he realizes he's not dead. So he takes one more step and the step appears. And he realizes, oh, as long as I keep moving, it will come to me. And that's how I feel. So many.
I really feel like that's how we live the soul-led path. Like, that's how we follow our soul's calling.
Yeah.
Because the mind wants all of the steps of the bridge, but the soul only knows, and we can only receive the one next step.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want the whole bridge. I want it not just like laid. I need it paved. I need extra beams and support systems in, right? So there are days that I'm like, I don't want to take another step. But no, it's so true, right? Like it's that soul-led, actionable, right? And I feel like so many times, I'm going to speak for myself here, it's like, show me first and then I'll move. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's like, I need to move for it to be shown. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So it's a lot of just like, okay, just take the next step that feels right. It may be wrong, but it's going to tell me something.
It's going to give me information. And I don't know if it's wrong yet. It just, I only know what feels right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you said you really like having the whole paved path in front of you. So how did you navigate that? Like, when you would come up to that fear of like, I can't see the path. Mm-hmm. And what did you actually do for anyone that's listening that's feeling the same thing? And they're like, I know, sure, I can take one step, but I need the path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. I feel like there are days I'm still there. But
I think that's beautiful. I think that's the actual thing, is like, we're in it. It's not a all or nothing. It's a practice.
Yeah. I would say I gave myself a year of yes. I gave myself a year of yes. I gave myself the opportunity to say, what if you just said yes? What if you just no is getting you nowhere, right? So even in the fear of showing up, the fear didn't go away automatically, and it still shows up sometimes today, right? People are still like, oh my God, you still get nervous. Yes, I do, right? And I'm learning to not judge that, but there's something to understanding I can do it and it's not going to kill me. I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it and I'm okay. As a matter of fact, when it comes to singing, what ends up happening is most people who think I suck aren't going to tell me, right? The ones who think I'm good are probably going to be the ones that come up to me and be like, hey, I really like that. And I've never had somebody come up to me and say, you suck. Right? Like,
Can't imagine.
To the point that, like, I performed in a hotel and I remember talking to a guy that was there, and we were just kind of performing like in the restaurant area. And this guy said, oh, it looks like they're performing or there's a band going to be playing. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's my band. And I'm going to be singing. And he's like, cool. Um, and so we did a set. He stayed for the whole thing. He told me he was going to. He stayed for the whole thing. And afterwards, um, he kind of motioned me over and he was like, you're really good. I was like, thanks. He goes, jazz is not really my thing. I'm more of a rock head, like heavy metal, but the utmost respect to you for what you do. Because, I mean, like somebody who does not like jazz and that genre of music has, and so I feel like what was the path for me or it's really understanding that fear is it's kind of like the Hunger Games. Have you seen the Hunger Games?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Okay. There's a point in the Hunger Games where the main girl,
Katniss,
or guy, yeah, Katniss. I don't know. It's been years since I've seen this. I'll never forget this because I always tell people, as somebody who deals with fear, this is how I picture the fear that I deal with. Right? It's like there's a point where her and her partner are running through the woods and he makes it to one side and this clear shield comes down and all these birds start attacking her and she's covering her ears and she's screaming and he's on the other side saying, just hang on. They're not real. They're not real. They're not real. Hang on. It's going to be over soon. Hang on. And that's how I feel. Like that just gave me goosebumps, right? Because that's how it feels. It feels like fear is going to take you over and it's yelling at you. You're not enough. Trust me when I say, because I deal with it every day. You're not enough. You're not good enough. This person's better than you. Blah, 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 blah. But when I stop and I just go, it hasn't killed me yet, right? I can hear somebody else saying, it's not real. It's not real.
Your inner voice.
Yes.
Your light is like, you are amazing. You're brilliant. You're talented. It's all for you. Your dreams. Oh, so amazing.
That's exactly it. Right. And it's, it's taking, I guess for anybody listening, I feel for people who understand what I'm talking about. My heart breaks because it's a hard journey. It's a tough journey for people who want to be doing something and feel like they're not good enough,
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is just say yes.
I love this. There's something, Drea, about what you said. Give yourself a year of yes. To me, I felt like a commitment, like a devotion to your truth, like to the yes, because your soul is calling in the yeses. Yes. And to honor that and consistently enough so that you almost build a new perspective, just like you shared, that the fear hasn't killed me yet.
You know what I love is what you just said. There's a commitment and a devotion to the yes that gets you past the commitment and devotion to the fear.
Yes.
Right? And so now your eye is on something different than I'm not enough. Now your eye is on, well, I said I would say yes. So I'm going to say yes to anything that opens up that's toward the way I want to walk. I'm going to say yes, and I will say I did it for 1 year and then I did it for another year because I saw that it didn't take me out, right? Like I was still here and I put out a single and, I got my single on the radio and, all of these things happened and it was more like something. I woke up one day and something said, put on nice clothes and go down to the radio station. I had never been to this radio station in my life. And I was like,
say what?
what am I doing? And it said, pick up your single, just go down there and see what happens. And sure enough, like I handed it to the lady and she was like, I'll listen to it. And a couple of days later, she called me and said, we're going to feature you in our new artist. We like your music. And I was like, what? What are we doing?
Can it be that easy?
Can it be that easy to be soul led, you know, and not have to force, you know, where I'm calling them every 10 days or 2 days. It was just like, okay, it'll be what it's going to be. They'll like it or they won't. But I feel like there's a reason something told me to go down there, right? So having to sit and just be like, okay, well, that was cool. I don't know if it's good. And then to hear my single on the radio for the first time, you know, so crazy. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Oh
my gosh, that's beautiful. And the way you described it is in a way how we build trust, how we build that trust with ourselves is to make the choice, the conscious choice of commitment or devotion to the saying the yes. And then through that and moving through the fears, we get the evidence, just like you said. And then now we have the evidence and now we're like, okay, I can trust this a little bit more. I can trust this a little bit more. And that builds this momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really intriguing to walk this path because, you know, I feel like in the day and age that we live in with so much social media and comparison and everything, we forget that everybody has a story, you know, and something that is
a real story.
We see the highlight reels. And right before I got on, I was listening to somebody talking, and he said, be careful not to compare yourself to somebody's root that you can't see. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's a really interesting way to put that. But it was so like, that makes so much sense, right? Like I can see all of these people singing, but then to find out there's certain artists that still get so nervous, right? Before they go. And it's so easy to create a story about them that is not true, right? Because I don't know what
we don't know.
I have no idea unless they say so. So it's like, there's a London-based singer that I love to sing. You've heard me talk about her before. And she struggles with nerves every time she gets up to sing, every time. And I was so fascinated by that, but it gave me so much respect for that. And she said, you know what? And she gave me a different perspective on my nerves. She said, you know what? The day I'm not nervous is the day I don't need to do this anymore. Nerves tell me that I care, right? It tells me that I have some skin in the game. And so it's the fear, because I think we attack nerves as like, it's an elementary thing. Like once you hit a certain level, you won't have to deal with this anymore. And I want to change that narrative so much. And I do with my clients, right? I have my students go through, we do a lot of breathing one thing people don't know, I'm a coach of music and piano and voice and whatnot. So when my students are performing, we do a lot of breath work, right? We do a lot of, okay, what's the goal here, right? Some goals might be just survive, just get in there and do it so that your body learns you're okay, you're safe, you're fine. Others, it's like, I want to be better than I was last year. I want to increase my score. But at the end of the day, they all get nervous, right? And so we got to talk through it. How do we process this? Let's breathe. Let's remind ourselves, you can talk to your nerves. You actually have power over what you think and how you feel. So you can actually speak to this and say, you know what, I'm good. Thank you for trying to protect me. I see you, right? But I need you to sit over there. I have something to do. We'll talk later. Right. And
I love talking to our fears. Also our fears like that. I love talking to our body like that because it's so much retraining our body and our nervous system in the face of the fear. And just exactly like you said, I'm going to talk to you. I'm in a relationship with you. I'm going to talk to you. And then I'm going to say, okay, you're just going to go stay over there right now. It's fine. You have full permission, but I'm going to go do this.
Right. And I'm going to be okay.
Yes.
And, you know what I mean? Like we're okay. And sometimes like I tell my students, you know, I feel like when you get nervous, A, there's two things going on. Either A, you did it before and you encountered some kind of judgment. Now, for my little ones, it's usually like, I made a mistake, or, they're encountering their own judgment, or, the parents are a little bit rough on them, right? We'll deal with that later. Or B, there's this internal, like, neon sign. This is not okay. We're not safe. Somewhere in your nervous system, because listen, that's what it was for me. I would throw my judgment on other people and be like, this is what they're going to think about me. Nobody's ever said anything as nasty to me as I say to myself.
I think
you
this
see what
is,
I'm saying?
I think this is true for every single person.
Yeah.
I mean, we are our hardest critics. And when our fear of judgment actually comes from our own judgment of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's been, as we release our own judgment, we free ourselves from that fear of judgment.
Yes, it's so true. It's so true. And it's something that, like, I've never heard myself say it before until this past, like, recital season. And one of my students was like, I just feel like people are going to be mean to me at recital, and I'm going to make mistakes. And I said, wait. Has that ever happened?
Like, wait, is that actually true?
Right. Like, let's determine fact from fiction.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you've been performing in a recital for like 10 years. Has that ever happened? And the kid was like, no. There's something. And I said to this young kid, I said, I really feel like you're taking the judgment and that really strict high standards you have on yourself, and you're putting them on everybody else, and you're expecting them to parrot back what you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we got to deal with, right? But then I had to say it to myself as I take the stage, right? Like, listen, has that ever happened? Has anybody ever walked up to you and been like,
you suck?
No, they have not, right? Yeah. Now, do we need to, like, have you experienced judgment in your past? Yes. And is that neon sign of nerves possibly like, this is unsafe, right? Like, we've done this when you were a kid, and family things, you know what I mean, are like, we don't do this. This is not how we behave. This is not what we do in our family. We don't go after these things. And so there's all this outside noise that says it's unsafe. It's unsafe. However, it's okay for me to look at that sign and be like, it's okay to turn that off. I'm okay. I'm okay. Right? And this is where my soul is calling me. And therefore, it's true for me. It's okay if they didn't do it. That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, that is
musicians in my family, you know? But this is what's for me, you know?
That is standing in your truth. Oh my goodness. Just that. Like, this is what's for me, and knowing that and having the courage to say that and stand in that with all, especially in your family, like all the different voices and then in society saying the way it should be.
Yeah, for sure.
I have in my own journey, self-judgment has been like the biggest thing to get in the way of me following my dreams. What was it for you? What helped you, or what's something that helps you navigate that when you want to be hard on yourself?
Oh gosh, what helps me when I want to be hard on myself? Sometimes it's talking to people. It's letting people know that it's like, I feel this, right? And it's talking to people, I think, that I deem as safe, right? Where it's not going to be more judgment on top of like
more should.
And I really feel this, and they're like, really, still? You know what I mean? Like,
right?
It's not what I need to be met
like,
with.
Dude, I'm already doing that to myself.
Right. I don't need you to do that. So there's that. I know this is going to sound really weird. I do go internally sometimes and just yet again have to say, okay, what's fact? What's fiction? Right? Can you sing? Yes. Does everybody else have their own voice? Yes. And you know what else has really helped is I heard a girl, she calls herself an artist advocate. She said, my voice is not for everybody, and I'm okay with that. And that has
Amen.
been life-changing, right? Understanding that I don't have to be all things to all people. There is an audience for me, and that audience is for me, right? I'm not meant to be with the metalheads. I'm not meant to be with, I have my lane of where I operate in, but also where I know I can flourish in, you know? Um, and so finding out like it's okay for me not to have the approval of everybody because everybody's not going to approve, and that's okay. That's all right. But I think also having like coaches in the past, like coaches, one thing like people don't know, you and I you coached me for a while, for several years. And one of the things that I tell myself, and this is going to make me really teary, give me a second. But you told me several years ago, you said, Drea, your body knows how to do this. Your cells know how to do this. And I cling to that with everything in me on the days that feel too heavy, right? On the days where my nerves are a lot, and they're just like, man. And I'm like, oh, why did I do this, right? It's like, I will whisper that to myself that, like, your body knows how to do this because you were born to do this. And you're okay.
You're born to do it. Exactly. And that's the truth. Like that is us choosing, firstly, I love you and I'm so proud of everything already. It feels also like only just the beginning. But that's the truth. Like that's you tuning into the truth.
Yeah, for sure. And I think there's something, and I think we are such an isolated society these days. And if anybody is listening that really struggles with this, find a community that's going to lift you up. That's what I can say, that you can be just point blank honest with and share where you are. Because going back to the Katniss situation from Hunger Games, right? The birds hit her when she was isolated, if you really think about it. She was separated from him, even though he was on the other side. She had to fight that by herself, right? And he was like trying to get to her and trying to talk to her. But fear is going to show its head when you're most isolated. You see what I'm saying? So if you can find a community that is willing to just lift you up or hear you or give you a voice to just speak it, because sometimes it's just a matter of getting it out of your system and just saying, I just need to say this and put it out there so that it moves its energy, right? And finding out it's just energy, right? Something else you told me. And I swear by it. I teach my students this. It's just energy. Where do you feel it? Is it in your arms? Is it in your legs? Is it in your belly? Where do you feel this nerves and these fears? And let's move it. You're okay. You're okay. You don't have to be. And to find out, to do the research, that nerves and excitement are the same energy. It's just what we call it.
So it's like, I'm really excited.
Excited to do this, right? But if you look at an MRI, they light up the same features of your brain.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, that's really intriguing. It's how I'm looking at it and what I'm internalizing.
It's the meaning we're placing on that feeling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So to make peace with it and to have people that will be like, listen, you're okay. You're going to be fine, and do it anyway. Go do it anyway. Right. And that's kind of what I got from you and our time together in your community was like, you're good. Go do it. You're good. You're fine. And I was like, am I? But it was in your community that I went on my first tour, right? To LA, and to sit in LA and to be on tour was a dream come true. It was such a dream come true. I never thought it's always what I wanted to experience, but I never thought in a million years it would happen, and to be backstage and to be on tour with a friend of mine that I really love so much. And to hear that moment, there was that moment where they came and knocked on my door and said, 10 minutes, Miss Nicole, 10 minutes. And I was like, what is my right now, right? And just to be in that moment, and I could feel the love of the community from you guys, right? Like I could hear your voice and saying, "You're okay. Your body was made to do this.
Yeah.
Your cells know what to do. When in doubt, default to your body knows how to do this, right? You don't have to overthink it. You don't have just trust." And it was the most magical tour of my life. I've never, I mean, it's the only one I've done, but it was like the most magical moments I think I've ever experienced on stage. Yeah. And to get to be on that and to know backstage, there was a moment where I took a picture, and I think it's on my Instagram. And I took this picture because in that moment, all I heard was, "This is what you were made to do right here. This is it." And I was
there's that voice again, like coming in. It's here your whole life. It's this thread, this sole purpose of your fullest expression.
Yes. And here is like, oh my gosh. So I want to thank you. And people don't know our journey, right? Like, it's so funny because people don't, I'm going to say this, people don't know, you and I just met for the first time in person, just like a month ago. But what hit me was the park that we went to was the very place I listened to when I first started my LOA journey. And I said, I just want to find like a podcast or something that will teach me more about LOA. And then you and Katie popped up, and I was like, weird. And on that trail was where I said, I'm going to get to meet Jenny one day. One day I'm going to get to know this girl. She seems cool. And then it just,
I can't get over it. When you told me that, the exact same, like, holy intention, alignment, same park. Yeah.
Same park. Like, what? And it's so crazy because I was like, why didn't I pick the park to the left? That would have been easier, you know what I mean? Kind of for me to get to because of the whole detour thing. But it was just like, it was such alignment, you know?
It was so much. And then it was like raining when we were going to get there. And then you were like, oh, I'm going to be a little late, 10 minutes. And then because of that, the sun came out at the perfect time. We had the beautiful walk. Yeah, it was amazing.
And then it poured down rain. Right?
Yeah. And it was so incredible. Amazing. And you shared with me one of my favorite stories yet that I would love for you to share with our listeners. The one you saved for the end of while we were meeting. Do you remember where you're going in February?
I am going to Carnegie Hall.
I know.
Carnegie Hall. I'm going with a group. So I'm singing with a group called the Choir Room. And I sing with them here in the city that I live in. And it's an amazing organization and just so much music and crazy amounts of talent that come together. But we're singing in February at Carnegie Hall. And this has been a life dream. Right. I went there my first time in New York. I actually went to Carnegie Hall because I just wanted to step into the space. I wanted to see it. I took a picture of the ceiling and it's still on my wall. And
I just love, I love the part of the story where you're, however many years ago, when we were talking about this, and I'm like, what would be what's like the big dream? And you're like, oh, singing on stage at Carnegie Hall.
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Drea leaves this like little tidbit to the end of our visit, and it's like, oh yeah, and guess what?
I was like, by the way, I'm going to Carnegie Hall. Yes, I'm so excited. Like, man, you know, and what's funny is just being open, hands open, you know what I mean? Like, it's not my solo gig yet, but it will be one day. Yeah. But to be there, first of all, I don't know that I'd survive doing a whole like solo event.
Isn't that amazing?
Just yet.
Right? The universe or God is like, okay, here's the next step that you're ready for. That's not going to terrify you, but it's going to like get you ready for the next and next. Yes.
Yes. And that has I giggle at that because I'm like, wow, this is probably the best way to do it, to be surrounded by other people, who all are on the same accord. Like we're all like, oh, we're singing at Carnegie Hall, you know what I mean? And get to hang out in New York for a few days. And I'm so excited. Yeah, I'll never forget when you said that a few years ago of like, what's the biggest dream? It's like Carnegie Hall. So now it's like, okay, what's the biggest dream?
I know.
This, and this is what's so funny to me is that this has been my life, right? It's like, what's the biggest dream for you? And it's like, oh, I want to hear a recording of myself. Okay, well, you did that. And then it's like, what's the next biggest dream? I would love to hear myself on the radio. And then it happens. And I say these big dreams as if they're going to take me till I'm like 80 or 90 years old to get to. And then I hit them and I'm like, oh, well, now
what? Now I've got to update my what's possible for me.
Okay, now what do we do? So I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
What would you say to yourself or somebody who is scared, who feels like the pull to like they know there's something inside that I'm being pulled to? They might not know exactly what it is, but they might. What would you say to that person or that version of yourself?
I think there's two answers. There's a cat climbing on my...
I can hear the bell.
Yes, I'm so sorry. He wants to be a part of the conversation. I'm going to say two things. If you don't know what it is, get quiet. Get really quiet. Spend time with yourself. Just maybe journaling, maybe writing out, what do you feel in that moment as you're sitting there, and quiet the noise. Maybe don't go talk to everybody just yet. There's something to trusting your inner voice. There's something to trusting that inner soul where what comes to you, you don't need the validation of others to accept, right? And you can just be like, okay, yeah, that feels right. Or no, that doesn't feel right. And that's okay to say too, right? Like, so get quiet. If you know where you want to go. Sorry, his nose is really wet. Can you ask the question one more time? He's distracting me.
Okay, so for someone who feels the inner pull to their dream and knows what it is, but scared to follow it, what would you say?
Take a step somewhere. Somewhere. It doesn't have to be big, but it does have to be something, right? I.e., if you want to play basketball, you might not go join a team yet. Just go get on the court. Just take your basketball and literally just go down to the park and just shoot a few hoops, right? Don't negate small steps.
This feels like
them, because they are the things that lead to the big leaps, right? And I feel like we feel like in society a lot of times, if it's not a big leap, it's not worth it. But the small steps are everything. They're
everything.
Right? So it's like, if you want to sing something, right? Like, literally, if you want to sing, open your mouth and sing something. Right? My friend said this to me. Okay, open your mouth, push air through your lungs, and make a sound. Like,
I love it.
Like, how, like... Well, I rolled my eyes at that point and I was like, but that's so true, right?
It's so true.
Get comfortable with your own voice. And then what's the next right step? It may not be going for a recording deal. It may be, okay, I want to get some coaching here, right? Or it may be, I just want to show up to what in my world we call jazz jams. Some people would go to karaoke. I have a lot of students, you'd be surprised, I have a lot of voice students that show up that just want to be better at karaoke.
Oh, fun.
And I'm just like, that's really cool, right? They're not looking for record deals. They're not looking, they're like, I just love singing karaoke and I just want to feel more confident when I get up there. I'm like, let's go. Let's go. This is a passion of yours and it's the right next step that you feel for you. So please don't negate. That is the biggest thing for me is like feeling like everybody else is taking leaps and I'm taking small steps. When, again, I don't know what their story is. I only see what they allow me to. And I feel like I look at other people and this is comparison. So what would I also say that I'm really having to work on myself on is stop comparing myself to other people and to other people's stories. But I will say this, I love biographies. I love studying singers. I love studying people who do what I want to do on a bigger level, who I have so much respect for. And every person that I see who has gotten to a bigger level, when you look into their journey, it was small steps. It was one thing. Okay, that doesn't feel right. Let's pivot. It was, okay, let me go here. I think I may have found it. Nope. That's not it. Let me try this, right? It wasn't I'm here today and I'm famous tomorrow, even though that's what it seems like.
That's what it seems like. We see the overnight success. We don't see the path. Yes.
Yes. And there was an actor, I want to say it was Kevin Hart maybe, who said, somebody came up to him and said, what does it feel like to be an overnight success? And he said, to you, I am an overnight success, but let me tell you about my journey. I've been doing this for 30 years and you're just now finding out my name. I'm not an overnight success. I think we have to be so careful not to compare ourselves and if you're going to compare yourself to somebody, see if they wrote a book and go read about them. Go read the trueness of what they went through.
The full journey.
The full thing before you say, oh, I'm not good enough. Read about what they had to go through.
Or I'm not doing it right, or I'm not far enough along.
I'm not far enough along on my journey. Or, even I love coaching. I'm getting into more of the life coaching space and that kind of thing. And there's a lady that I found on Instagram and I really like her cat food. Yes, you're welcome. So sorry. I really like what she has to say. And she said, I'm 53 and I'm just now getting to this point of like, this is what I'm meant to do. Right.
Oh, I love it. I love these stories.
Yes. Hearing her journey from like working on Wall Street to, being a huge investment person and making 6 figures to being like, that's not what I want to do anymore. Right. And then stepping away. She's like, she literally just said to me the other day, I stepped away from there because it was killing me. And I went to washing dishes for my brother's restaurant and meeting people and doing videos for them that was promo videos. Come to find out, I wanted to start content creating. Yeah. And look what was happening was I was doing videos. I didn't even know it was going to lead me to this path. It was just the next best thing.
Yeah.
Right. And so whoever is listening who finds themselves in this place, just take a breath. First of all, you're good.
You're good. You're so good.
I hope that you're safe. I want to say that you're safe, but I hope that you're safe. And if you don't feel safe, whether that's mentally or physically, I really hope that you find the out that you need to create that space for you. But also in that, trust what has been put inside of you. There's a calling there, and you felt it. If you're nervous to step out in it, do it anyway. Do it anyway.
Oh,
I promise it's not going to take you out. I promise. As a matter of fact, you're going to be shocked as to how much it fills you and fills your cup, right? And here's the thing. I will say this, and I'm going to toss it back to you in this, but I will say this as somebody who has struggled with depression for a lot of my life. What I have had to realize is when I'm off stage too long, I really fall into a depression.
Oh.
It's like it fills my cup so much to be on stage that when that cup is empty, it's like, why do I feel so heavy? Why do I feel like And I'm like, oh, you haven't been on stage. I have not walked in my purpose in a while, right? You need to get back on stage. You need to connect with people. I love connecting with people, and I've had to be okay with that, right? I love connecting with people through music and getting to meet people and hear why does this song connect with them, or where they are, and getting to love people is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna toss it to you.
Isn't it interesting how the thing that we're being called to do almost requires us to move through the most fear?
Mm-hmm.
And it's that journey, it's that path.
Yeah. It's almost like to whom much is given, much is required, right? Like I feel like you have a almost a bigger level of respect for it because it's not handed to you so easily, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, to really have to like
become. Yeah.
Yes. I'd rather just became, but
well, since this is to tie this up and the idea of leading in love for you, what does that mean to you to like lead in love?
You have such good questions. Man, what does it mean to lead in love? There's so many ways I can go with this. Personally, to lead myself in love is to be kind to myself and to say yes and to know I'm worth the journey. I'm worth it. I'm worth taking. Yeah, that's it. It's a worthiness. To lead in love internally is to know that I'm worthy.
Yeah.
I'm worthy of success. I'm worthy of taking the jump even when it feels scary. I'm worthy of being loved. To lead in love with being on stage, it's just that. It's, I used to sing with my eyes closed because I used to be so nervous to look at people.
Yeah.
And
that's smart, actually.
Listen, until people are like, open your eyes.
Not the windows to my soul.
Listen, like, I don't want you to see me. But I had a coach who, at the college I studied jazz, she got this close to my face. And she said, she was scary. She was shorter than me, but she was terrifying. And she made me hold eye contact with her.
Oh, while you sang.
Over, and I would try to squirm away. She'd be like, you better not move.
And you were scared of her.
I was terrified. And now we're pretty good friends, and we talk quite, a little bit online and stuff, but it's so funny to just be like, wow, like she was the one that really broke. She was like, no, if you're going to be on stage, you need to be able to connect with people. So to lead in love, I would say this, it is to be open, like we were talking about before. It is to be open and go on stage with my hands open and going, you know what they need. I don't. It seems, I never want to get up there like, just listen to me. I come with a purpose, right? I come to the stage with a purpose, and my purpose is to love on you through my music, and that you leave better than you came.
Talk about leading in love, like this sharing the energy of love that you are.
Yeah. And it's, it's like, if you got to cry, cry. You're safe here.
Yeah.
If you need to love, you take from this set or this show whatever you need in this moment. And one lady looked at me, and I'll never forget, this is why I started looking at people as well. I'll never forget. She, talk about a journey. I started going to this one place here, and it's a jazz workshop. And one of the things that they did was, after we would go through classes, they would put us on stage and we could sing with the band, and we would sing our songs. And I sang this song, and this lady came up to me afterwards, and all she said was, she had tears in her eyes, and she said, I want to thank you for looking at me when you sang.
Wow.
I felt seen today. It's been a hard day, but I felt like you really saw me. you held my eyes and you just sang to me. And I'll never forget, I can see her now where she was as a dark room and she was right in the front. And I'll never forget that moment because I did hold eye contact with her and she held it with me. Mm-hmm. And it was just her and I for a second.
Yeah.
And she said, I really needed that today. And I said, I'm so glad.
Oh my God.
I'm so glad I could help in whatever way that I could.
You probably have so many of these stories.
I do. And this is why I do what I do, because in that, when the fear is too much, the people make it worth it. You know what I mean?
There's something bigger coming through you.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's something bigger. Even on the days that I do suck, right? Even on the days where I'm like, oh, my voice is not the greatest today, right? To know that I've still gone on stage and be like, I don't know what's going to come out of my voice today. That's really scary. Or I'm singing a new song and I don't know what the band is going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And it could be a hot mess, right?
Yeah.
But to have people walk up, even still when I'm like, that was dismal failure. It's okay. We're going to be all right. But have people walk up and be like, wow, you just got a really big fan. I'm a new fan. I can't wait to hear what else you do. And I'm like, did you just hear what I
Did you hear what I heard?
Because that was a hot mess, right? But guys.
Again, you are your harshest critic. Yes.
But to lead in love is to also give yourself grace.
Mm-hmm.
To give yourself grace and know that not everything's going to be perfect. And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. And listen, from a perfectionist who's recovering from being a perfectionist, that's a lot to say. That's a lot to say, but it's okay.
Doing it.
Every moment is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But take the journey anyway.
Yeah. Drea, your story, all of it, and you are so inspiring. Thank you for sharing all of this with us.
Thank you for having me. Oh my God, I love you so much. I'm so glad that we got to talk today.
Me too. For people that want to find you and follow you and become your next biggest fans, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me in two places, either Drea Nicole 70, that is DREA. It's a long name.
And I'll put it in the links. Yeah.
We'll put it in the link. Or you can find me at Charlie Still Music on Instagram as well. And that's where I usually post a lot of my music things and like books coming out or anything like that. So you can find me there. I'm also on Facebook, the same name, Drea Nicole 70 on Facebook as well. Yeah. So you can see me there. And I generally will post where I'm singing.
I can't wait to hear you sing in person live.
Yes, it's coming.
It is. That's the next piece of the manifestation at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing.
I'm here for it.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. It was so fun talking to you.
My pleasure.
And congratulations on your podcast and everything that you're doing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you later.
Bye, Drea.
Bye, guys.
And bye, everyone.
Everybody.